Howdy, Possum Patty here, and little Titi too. She's coming into my lap. Titi, 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 Titi. She wants to get into my lap and get petted, yes. Well, it is the last day of November 30th, and this is my November gratitude journal that I have been working in. And I'd like to say I went ahead and did a new page, but I didn't. I was flipping through the journal to get to a new page, and I stopped at some old pages and said, I bet you I could add some more to these pages. Come on along. Well, one day has passed. Just a funny long story here. Yesterday we had some cleanings at the dentist. Now it's like 100 miles round trip to get to the dentist, but it is Mr. Possum's cousin, so we go there because we get to see family while we're there. And they called early in the morning and said that they could take us in a little bit earlier than we had scheduled. So I had made the intro, but then we had to leave, so I didn't get to do my journaling. So we went to the dentist. We did stop at a few places, grab some lunch because it was a long trip, and we got back. And Mr. Possum got in the shower, and it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the power went out. Well, it was a very windy day. A line of storms came through. We didn't have hail or anything. We had some heavy rain, though. And we were getting 50-mile-an-hour winds. Now, whenever the wind blows around here, it's like a candle. The power goes out. So the power went out. And Mr. Possum started the generator. And we had some problems with that. First, when he first hooked up the generator, it ran the well pump and the furnace and lights over in the other room, and the television, the internet, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, it stopped running the furnace. But it just ran the lights in the other room. And yesterday when he hooked up the generator, it didn't run the furnace and it did not run the well pump. So we had no water, we had no heat, and we just had some electricity in the other room. Now, we were waiting quite a while for it to come back on, and it didn't come back on, so we finally just went to bed in our cold, dark house and waited for the electricity to come on, which did not come on until 6 o'clock this morning. So now we have water, now we have heat, we're good, because it's still cold, still windy. And Mr. Possum called an electrician to come over and check out why the generator's not running the furnace and the well pump, because those are the two things you're going to need in the winter when the power goes out. Like I said, every time the wind blows over 40 miles an hour, our power goes out like a candle. So I thought about bringing everything into the other room and just journaling and showing you what I was doing. But the lighting wasn't good. We only had a few lights on. So what I did was I threw this stuff from my slow stitch drawer into this carry-all, and I took this out into the other room. And it is just bags of scrap material like this, and there's a couple of projects that I want to do. And I have in here some needles and some more scraps. I don't even know what's in there. Oh, there's crochet things in there. Okay, I'll have to check out because I've forgotten what's in here. More material. I got my batting. There's needle threaders, all kinds of things in there. I just opened up the drawer because there's no lights in this room when the power goes out. I just threw everything into that carrier, took it off into the other room. So we didn't have internet, we didn't have cable, but we have a TV antenna for times like this, and we were just watching, I don't know, one of the local channels or something. So I started slow stitching. I haven't slow stitched in quite a while. I think this was the last thing I made, these shiny circles, which I haven't sewn in yet because I want to do something on this page. Now this book is getting kind of fat, so it's much easier to sew on panels than actually in the book unless you're working on this side. So I'll put a panel over here, and I want to do a birdhouse like Linda at Linda's Mixed Up Mess, and who Janet Nash did. And I want to do a little birdhouse and put it there. So I thought on this one, just to get back into the practice of slow stitching, I would just slow stitch on this page with the feathers. And I wasn't really trying to actually, you know, go exactly by the peacock feather design, which looks like that, but just sort of using it as an inspiration for different colors and different stitches. Now these are all straight stitches everywhere, just different colors, different lengths, and going in different directions. I really like how this one came out. I did a back stitch on that one and a little bit smaller stitches. And these over here, I used a darker blue, sort of did these in a semicircle. Big stitches, little stitches, just using embroidery floss. What is Mr. Possum doing now? Yesterday he was making noise, and now he's making noise again today. That's okay. So I didn't get the whole thing finished. I want to finish some more on this side and then do some color up there. I'm not going to fill the page solid, but I do want to get some more stitches in. Maybe extend this blue up around here and across this way, and then put some colors up there. So if you can thread a needle, make a knot at the end, and stick it through a piece of material, and then back down through the material again, up and down, you can do slow stitching. Doesn't have to be neat on the back. Doesn't have to be any particular style or fancy like French knots. And you can do crosses. Crosses, just 2 straight stitches. I didn't do any crosses on here though. Just make them different sizes, going in different directions with different colors. And if you use a pattern, a piece of fabric that has some pattern on it, that can help you get started with what to do. Just relaxing, super fun, and something to do when the internet is off and the cable is off and the power is off, except for in one room, and you don't feel like dragging everything out into the other room. Oh, and the light wasn't very good, so Mr. Possum lent me this little portable light thing here. I had it clipped onto the slow stitch book to help me see what I was doing. So that was helpful. I mean, we had a couple lights. It just, you know, wasn't close to where I was working. Anyway, let's get back to the gratitude journal now that that adventure is over and the lights are back on. And what I did was, I was flipping through the second signature of my gratitude journal to look for a new page to work on, and I got to this page with my November roses. Now I love this picture of the red rose with the little shadow on the house, and I love how I layered the different papers, but I'm thinking it's just not enough for me. So these butterflies here are gold foil. So I said, well, what if I add a gold touch over here? And I went rummaging through my trim box, and I found this gold rickrack. I don't have too much of this left. Where is it? It's here somewhere. I got a little bit left here for future use. I should put some tape on this to hold it down. Got some extra washi tape sticking on my camera lens, camera stand here. And I was liking that. I said, oh, I like how that gold goes with these gold butterflies. You can see these. They don't show up unless you're sparkling them into the light. And I'm like, oh, that's better. I've got some sparkle on there. I like it. And I'm like, I want to add something else. And I was looking through my drawer the other day, and I remembered that I had this antique book about roses. I actually have 2 of them. And this one, The Songs of the Roses, It's like a calendar with poems, and this is from 1892. So every page has like a little poem, the calendar for the month, and a beautiful picture of roses. I think I bought this at the flea market. So I flipped through to get to November. I'm sure I hauled this in one of my videos. And what I did not realize, and if I had realized this, you know, you forget what you have till you go rummaging looking for something else, and then you discover all these treasures in your drawer. What I didn't realize was that in 1892, the calendar is the same calendar as it is for 2022. So Wednesday, November 30th, 1892 is the same November 30th on a Wednesday, 2022. Now, I would have been using these calendars all year if I had realized that they match. I'm not going to wait another 130 years, so I'll use these even if the calendars don't match at some point. So I tipped in the November page. I did give it a nice little decorative edge here. Just cut it the shape of the roses, and I put some pink ink. I believe that was, I don't know if I still have it here. I made a big mess on the desk because I couldn't come in and clean it in the dark. The Stays On Fuchsia Pink, yeah. And I grabbed some washi tape, some pink washi tape, and just tipped it in. And I love it because this side has the poem, "Oh, beautiful rose, oh, beautiful royal rose, oh, rose so fair and sweet. Queen of the garden art thou, and I, the clay at thy feet. Yet, oh, thou beautiful rose, queen rose so fair and sweet. What were love or crown to thee without the clay at thy feet?" So there would be no rose without the soil it grows in. So I love this now. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Yeah, because every page has to have a little something special, like possum and the Bigfoot, and sparkle and butterflies and bling. And so now this has got this beautiful vintage 1892 calendar page. And then I got to this, and I have this plain little blue clip here holding this flap closed. And I was like, oh, I'll make a decorative paper clip or hidden paper clip. Now, I learned this from Brittany Linger, and I will link her channel below, is how to cover both sides of the paper clip and leave a little bit hanging out to hang some ribbons on or something. So for this side, the side that's going to show on this page, I used another scrap that I had of this blue paper, this wonderful blue watercolor forest cloud swallow paper. And I'm going with the bird theme. So I did find, I remember I had these. And I believe these were gifted to me, and they were printed in Germany, and they're quite lovely. Little cut-aparts, like vintage images of birds and bird nests and butterflies. And I've used a few of these already. So I cut one out, and I said, well, let me add something else to this. And I added just a little bit of lace. So I have all this lace on the table that I need to put back in that box. I'm going to get it off the table right now. And then I'm like, well, you know, these birds, they're like in motion. They're moving around. I know this is a wren here, but I don't know what these two birds are. There might be European birds. So I grabbed some of the shiny blue thread that I had, the metallic threads. This is the thread I was using in the Slow Stitch book. Sometimes it's hard to sew with because the metal parts come off, but I did manage to do a lot of sewing here. And I just balled it up and wrapped it around and put it underneath the birds, above the lace. And this just gives the whole thing a little sense of movement. I should probably put a little more glue on that, or maybe not, we'll see. I just don't want this bit here to catch on things. So this is this side. So I thought I'd show you how I make this. So I didn't finish it off last night, and this is what I was going to do. So for this side, the part of the paper clip that's going to show on this side, I did have a scrap of this paper. So that'll be here. And I'm glad I moved Gather up there and didn't start down there, because this way I can put the paper clip and not cover up the word Gather. I could just put it down at the bottom. So it can go low down so I can see the trees. I could even have a little bit of the lace hanging over the edge like that. So what you do is you get 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. It doesn't have to be folded. It could be 2 separate pieces. This just happened to be a folded piece of the paper. And you're going to slip it in this way. And then you're going to glue that on there. And you can still use this as a paper clip by going between these 2 pieces of paper. So you can't see the clip on this side and you can't see it on that side. Now the reason I said before, like this is poking out, because I will put something on here. A little ribbon or tie or something. So I'm going to move this out of the way for now. And let me throw that. I have so much stuff down on the floor. It is not even funny. Oh, so I want to put something on here, and I realized that, let me get the book back. I was doing 4. Today I'm giving thanks, for the rain, for the flowers, for the farmers, for our democracy, etc., for nature's beauty, for Election Day, for Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Day, for November Roses. But I didn't have a 4 for all these Thanksgiving pages. So I kind of changed up the format of the book, but that's quite all right. You can start a journal one way and finish it another way. There are no rules. So even though it was started with a separate thing on each page, it is now just turning into a big Thanksgiving memory, although I'll probably put something about the birds here on the last page, because I have birds here too. So I'm going to see if I have enough memories to put on all these pages that are left. But I wanted the word "for" to go in here, so I put, these were gifted to me. These are like little place cards for Thanksgiving dinner. I am thankful for my family gathering together. So now I have my saying, and I'm happy, and it kind of goes along with this word here, gather. And of course the colors are great for this page. So here's the other half of the leaf. I can save that for something else. Put that down again. So all I have to do now is to glue that. Can I pick it up? Come on. Glue this. I was going to do it a certain way. Let's see if I can get it. This way. Because I wanted to see these berries. I think they're elderberries. I want to see just a little bit of those berries peeking through like that. The orange on the leaf matches this orange on the leaf. So that is going to be this side. So I'm going to go ahead, I think, and glue this on first. Then once I get this on, then I can put the leaf on there. And I'm using the bottom half of an old calendar page here. This was this was a picture of plates that I used in my trashy the other day. And I'm so happy that more people are joining in on Trash Trash Tuesday. So I will let this dry, and then I will show you how that looks in the book. Should I glue some of this down? I'm just afraid it's gonna catch a little bit. So I just put a little glob of glue there. A little glob of glue. A little dab will do you. I don't know if I can get this to stay down in there though. Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit. I'll put this aside to dry somewhere. What a mess. Whoops. Or as, who said that? Betty Davis in one of the movies my mother always quotes, "What a dump." What a dump. So that'll go there. Then I'm thinking, okay, I've added something to this page and I love it. And I'm adding a decorative paper clip to these two pages and I love it. Should I add something to this page? And you're probably saying, no, that page is perfectly fine the way it is. And yes, I love the tag and I love all these colors together. But what if I put something here? Now this has gold flecks on it, which might be hard to see on the camera. I've got gold letters here and I've got gold flecks on this paper and gold thankful there. Now I could put some gold rickrack. Ooh, I kind of like that actually. I was thinking of going with a ribbon. This is sort of like lace and satin, but these yellows look really nice. Look at that, how they match the yellows on the turkey. And they sort of, not exactly, but very close to the colors on this page too. I said, well, that would be different. That would be different. I already use this gold. Oh, here's that blue thread I was using. Or I could use, okay, I need to put some of this stuff away. I'm going to throw that down on the floor there. A piece of burlap, which was here yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. I found it. It was on the floor. Either I knocked it down or TT decided to go play with it. The piece of burlap. And I like this with the natural look, with the fall colors. You know, it's just got that basic burlap look. And I think this goes well, and I think this goes well, and I like the gold too. But I just used the gold over here. So I think I'll go with this. I don't know why. I'm just going to go with this. And I will put this piece of burlap back. And this is Crafter's, well, not Crafter's Square. It's Floral Garden, but it is the Dollar Tree. I like these for my nature journaling. So I'm going to glue this in. Oh, this is on the desk too. I was thinking about using this on the altered paper clip. I had been down and get it off the floor. But then I decided to use something which is just a little bit smaller. But I will save that and use that in another project. I threw it in my slow stitch basket. Now that I have one, as of last night, right? So I can take it with me into the other room while we watch a movie or something. Do some slow stitching. I want to make the little birdhouse like they made, but with the lights out I didn't feel like searching, you know, for the right scraps, the right size scraps, although I had that bag of scraps and I think I probably could have found the right sizes in that bag. But I will, while the lights are on, make sure I get together some scraps. I could probably just put them in a little baggie or something and have them ready to go. And I'm saying that because it's still very windy out today. I can hear the wind outside. So we might lose power again. Only this time I will be prepared. Should I put it right on the edge? Oops, 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 fell off. and have just a little bit of that lace peeking up on the other side, like that. I'm sliding it up a little bit because it's a little long, and sometimes I don't cut them when they're a little long. So I get a little bit hanging out the back, at the bottom rather. A little bit, I might cut it, I might not. I can make that decision at any time. There, I think that's nice. It adds just a little bit more interest to that page. Oh, speaking of slow stitching, on the way back from the dentist, we stopped at the Hobby Lobby that's on the other side of the state. I don't have one on this side. I either have to go over to Rhode Island, which is pretty far, or go to the other side of the state, which is pretty far. They're sort of like equally far away. But I got this really pretty, sparkly ribbon. I got red and green, not ribbon, I'm sorry, floss. And it says there's sparkle on every strand. I got this at the Hobby Lobby. And no, it was not on sale, and I hardly ever buy things that are not on sale. And it was $1.95 for each one, which is quite a lot for one little package of floss. But it's very special. Look at that, and I can do a Christmas page in my slow stitch with this. I'm loving it, and that's all I bought, so I didn't spend a lot of money. I bought these two little things. And I can have a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of entertainment rolled up in these two little pieces of embroidery floss. It'll make me happy. They'll make me happy. Oh, and while I was there, where are they? Let me find them. I picked up these free little Hobby Lobby suggestion ideas, brochures. They have these hanging in the different aisles. And I said, wasn't that pretty? I can use these in my trashies. They're very pretty. Look at this, is gorgeous. I used one of these before that had the gnomes in the little gardens. I haven't paid much attention to them, but embellish. This is really pretty too. Today I choose to be a unicorn. Yay, isn't that cute? So you can get some ideas off of these, and you can cut them up and use them. Oh, here's for journaling down here. Uh-oh. My electricity just went on and off. Let me hurry up and get this video done. So I got a few of these, so I will probably look through these, get some ideas, and cut these up and use them in my trashy journal. So what was I doing? I went out to show you that. Okay, where's that paper clip? So I think this is dry enough. So you've covered both sides of the paper clip. So you have a decoration on each side. And you just slip it into the middle. Now what I want to do is leave that edge poking out just a little like that. See how nice that looks there. And then I've got my leaf here. I can bring this down a little bit so I can see the fam there. And have a little bit of lace at the bottom. And I've got my ribbon there. And I actually found, see, I made this from an old pair of pants and a shirt and some ribbon scraps and a bead from an old bracelet that fell apart. And when I was grabbing things out of the drawer for slow stitching, there was a little bag that had some more of these scraps in it. And so I can just take a piece of this and tie it on there. I could use the green, I could use the blue. And just have a little tie in there. And now that matches that little thing. Nothing has to match in your journals, but I'm just saying it's nice to, you know, Mr. Possum's on the phone talking to an electrician or leaving a message for the electrician right now. So he talks very loud on the phone. The green goes nice with this side. And this side too. So I'm going to end this video right here and see if I can get this uploaded before we lose power, and then I've got to get on to my December journaling because it's Happy December right now. So thanks for coming along for this little bit of a catch up here on what I've been doing, and happy junk journaling. Happy December. And even though it's December, yes, I will still fill in these pages and come back and show you my gratitude journal. So thanks for coming along today, and happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. So of course we go over to his office for our checkups and cleaning. Oh, and by the way, he's collecting toys for tots. And when you go into the waiting room this time of year, it's just beautiful with all the toys that he's collecting for toys for tots.